For those of you who don't know, there's actually a scientific theory that the universe could just be destroyed at any single moment and we wouldn't have any bit of a warning or any sense of impending doom. Now, I don't have a PhD, I'm not a physicist, I'm not an astronomer, but I have my own theory that states if you put enough pressure, if you apply enough complaints, if you write enough angry tweets at 2K, they might actually do something. And why did I say that? Because earlier this week, the highly anticipated patch 1.07 for WWE 2K26 finally came out. I hope you got yourself some sort of a snack. I hope you're in a comfortable spot, because there is a lot to unpack. There is a lot to uncover, because these patch notes, it's almost like a damn book. 2K dropped this game completely unfinished, and there's so much that they had to fix. So, you know, like always, man, timestamps will be in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, this is what I want to do. They pretty much gave us two different notes. One, a little brief summary, and then the fully detailed thing. Now, I want to just go ahead and kick it off with the little brief summary. So, you know, they went ahead, they gave us a nice introduction. Hello, WWE 2K community. And, you know, so as we roll down the road to WrestleMania 42, which I believe is in 2 weeks, what is interesting about it is that they said, you know, to help players relive some of those legendary matches and create WrestleMania moments of their own in WWE 2K26, we're offering the following opportunity to catch up. As Ringside Pass Season 2 launches on April 15th. So starting today, all current and future players will be granted enough RXP for Ringside Pass Season 1 to unlock 20 tiers. So let's say you're at tier 5, you're going to now be at 25. If you were at tier 20, you're going to be completely maxed out now. Because I was at tier 10 and now I'm at 30. Well, I think now I'm actually at 31, but they gave me mine and, you know, I got that bump up to 30. And so by now you should have it, because it said please allow 24 hours for the RXP to be added to your Ringside Pass Season 1 progress after logging in. Then another thing they added was all players who have installed and linked their 2K account and played the game prior to April 14th, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which I think is maybe, if you're on the Eastern Standard Time, I think that might be 2:59 a.m. Correct me if I'm wrong. Will also receive enough RXP for Ringside Pass Season 2 to unlock 20 tiers when Season 2 launches. So I guess that's a hell of a win. Again though, man, in my opinion, this system shouldn't have been in the game to begin with, and it obviously everyone that was giving them backlash, myself included. Hell, how many times have I yapped about this? Hell, I made an entire video dedicated to the Ringside Pass. So to see them do this, I mean, I can't really applaud you. It's bare minimum, but I'm a fair man. Glad that they did make this change. Something else worth noting as well, the required RXP per tier will be reduced from 800 to 625 RXP for Season 2, and the required RXP per tier will not increase for future seasons. I'm honestly hoping that they keep their word on this, but and you know, in the times we live in nowadays, especially with companies like 2K, you gotta really hold them to it, because I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do, let's say Season 5, they just kind of nonchalantly bump it back up. I mean, you know, we'll have to see. That's in damn near towards the end of the year from now, but the values of consumable RXP boosts will also be increased. Another important thing they're doing as well, again because of all of the backlash, starting with Season 2, all 4 DLC characters in the future Ringside Pass premium seasons will be available in Tier 1. It should have been like that off the rip, and automatically available to unlock in the Ringside Pass menu for Premium Pass players when those respective seasons launch. And then of course, that's the main gist of it. And I gotta say again, man, I really want to know though. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section. I'm glad that they did this, because I just didn't see the point of paying to grind. If I paid the money for the DLC characters, I should be able to play them as soon as I hop on the game. I shouldn't have to spend a ton of hours to sit here and grind for somebody I just paid to get. That's dumb. And it's like, especially in this year alone, with how many different games are coming out, so many big releases scheduled for this year. Hell, March alone was stacked. Why would you expect me to want to spend my time to grind something, a character that I should automatically have access to, wasting countless hours just to play with them, when I can spend those same countless hours on so many other major games coming out this year. Everybody knows GTA 6, The Blood of Dawnwalker, The Witcher 4, Mixtape, the new Life is Strange that just came out. Crimson Desert is a game that a lot of people are still playing. So honestly, in a lot of ways, I don't think that's a fight 2K was going to win in the long run, and at some point, they had to have known that. But a fight that they are trying to win, they're trying to retain the players that we still have, or excuse me, they still have, because the community is slowly dying, because the game needed so many different fixes. So in patch 1.07, you know what they fixed? Pretty much damn near everything, because the game was just it was in such a bad state. Like again, man, the patch notes, this is almost a Game of Thrones book. That's just how much stuff is in it. So man, we can't really cover everything, or else we're gonna be here all day. I'm just gonna pretty much try to nail the important things and just at least at least skimmer through a bit of everything. But the most important thing here that they fixed, they made general stability and performance improvements. Nah, I'm just kidding, they do that in every single patch, but we want to hit off with gameplay and play. Now, I think they addressed this in 1.04 or 1.05, but evidently it wasn't good enough, because the issue of people still getting the instant DQs or whatnot from the officials from hitting the ref. Now, what they did, again, I think it was 1.05, they added it so it would take 2 hits instead of just being 1. But what they did in 1.07, they increased the damage threshold for instant DQ from referees. Now, what I'm glad to see, they have made stamina and reversal adjustments. Again, this is something I dedicated an entire video to, the whole purple death bar, stamina bar of doom, and they finally addressed it. Now what they said is stamina and reversal adjustments. They've adjusted stamina cost to increase more gradually over the duration of a match, so players are less likely to become winded early on. That's something I literally said was stupid from the jump. But of course, you had some people who, they're going to defend everything 2K does. They're like, well, that makes the game more realistic, man. Oh, dude's mad he has to actually take a bump in a wrestling video game. And it's like, bro, I don't have no problem with that. But you are not going to sit here and tell me that the average WWE superstar, just the average wrestler in general, is getting completely gassed within the first 30 seconds of a match. The only match I've ever seen in my life where that happened was when I went to AEW Collision, and it was Jericho versus Dax in the main event. And Jericho, you could tell he was tired as hell almost as soon as the match started. And you know why? Because he's 50 something. So why, if I'm playing with somebody like Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, Roxanne Perez, why in the hell would I be having, stamina like I'm dying on the mat within the first 30 seconds of a match? That just didn't make sense. And the people who were defending it, it didn't make sense. Like, come on. They also said that reversals will now cost less stamina when you are fighting more than one opponent. In my video specifically, what I mentioned, I did a Money in the Bank cash-in, Seth Rollins. The main event was CM Punk, Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. And when I got into the match, I reversed CM Punk. When I reversed CM Punk, I then had no more stamina. So then he hit me with a move. And then after CM Punk hit me with the move, Roman Reigns picked me up and hit me with a Uranagi. Since I had the purple bar, I couldn't reverse it. And after he hit me with the Uranagi, he immediately spears CM Punk, gets to 1, 2, 3. And so I think if I lose a match because of that, it wasn't a funny situation like the AI might have stolen a win. It just genuinely felt like I got screwed over. So I really don't think that system should be in the game, unless it should be more of an actual setting that you could manually tweak or turn off. That would have been the best course of action in my opinion. But I don't make the game. Something else 2K also did, they improved thumbtack stability during online play. The AI will now attempt reversals after transitioning from front to rear. They addressed a reported concern related to movesets reverting to defaults while using an alternate attire during the match. They updated the visual effects fade on the Poison Mist to last longer. Haven't used the Poison Mist this year, so I didn't even know that that there was anything wrong with it. They addressed reported concerns related to the wrong date showing up in my stats. They added a new move to Chelsea Green's Cradle Flatliner, the stand in front grapple. They also added the new move. They added Blake Monroe's Glamour Shot finisher, which I actually made a short about, and I was like, why are we letting 2K get away with doing the bare minimum? Blake Monroe was one of the characters they were featuring heavily this year to be like, oh, guess who's making their debut? She's going to be coming into the game. No DLC, she's going to be a base character. And she didn't even have her move in the game. In my short, I was incorrect. I said that she was using the future shot, but she was actually just using the butterfly DDT. And so it's like, what the hell are we doing? I can't applaud you for that. That's bare minimum. But that's a whole different conversation. We gotta stop letting 2K get away with doing the bare minimum. They added a new move or a new taunt for Solo Sokoa 1. They addressed reported concerns related to hair shine changes going to default when in gameplay. And they also addressed a reported concern related to superstars stepping down from the middle rope when playing cage matches. See, like, I haven't heard anyone discussing any of these, so I don't really know how niche of issues or problems that these may have been. And then of course we have the island. They've adjusted interior camera settings. They added a new shop and bundle items because of course, gotta get those microtransactions. We gotta make you open up your wallet. We gotta get little Timmy to get his mom's credit card. They updated the prestige flow. You can now prestige from within the training shop itself. They added a double VC earn event in the order of tradition. It's a solo PvP. I guess it's probably like a tower. They addressed the reported concerns related to stability and the UI. Interesting. This is now the point where it just kind of gets out of hand, and like I said, it's so much that I might even have to just start skipping some stuff because the create section, the creation suite in this game was just almost broken. Like, dude, there's so many different bullet points. I might even just try to summarize a lot of them together. So, create a superstar specifically. They addressed reported concerns related to the incorrect attire appearing when attempting to import a superstar's second attire. Concerns related to the results of idling without saving for over 45 minutes while creating a custom superstar. There was somehow a soft lock when a player would apply a face photo after reaching the maximum layer point price under certain conditions in the face and body menus. Dude. Reported concerns related to alignment with ears, earlobes, and eyebrows after maxing out sliders and then backing out. They addressed reported concerns related to another soft lock, this time potentially occurring when quickly selecting a second body part while creating a new superstar on a new user account. Concerns related to the custom superstar tab sometimes remaining visible after deleting a superstar. This is just actually insane. They addressed reported concerns related to image preview potentially failing to display during the image placement after selecting switch mapping. Reported concerns related to eyelashes becoming misaligned with a created superstar's eyes. Reported concerns related to shoulder button prompts vanishing when highlighting nickname and presentation name. They addressed reported concerns related to favorited mask appearing blank in the menu. And it's just, the list continues to go on and on and on. Did anybody playtest this stuff? Like, I'm honestly seriously thinking this game is just a 2K20 reskin. And at this point, is that even crazy to say? They addressed reported concerns related to inconsistent removal functionality when editing body parts. They addressed reported concerns related to UI button display issues after editing color operation in the parts color menu. They addressed reported concerns related to Superstar's face template and skin color inadvertently applying to a persona attires after selecting default and face customizations. Dude, what the hell was 2K working on before they released this game? Like, do they not have any sort of playtesters, or are people just afraid? Like, when they invite all of the content creators out, does anyone ever say anything, or is it like, I don't want to accidentally say something and then 2K they won't invite me to the event next year? Like, dude, this makes no sense. They address reported concerns related to selecting the camera option in the height/weight menu, causing the slider to move with the camera settings. They address reported concerns related to button prompt functionality when saving a custom superstar across modes. They address reported concerns related to sample color functionality. They also address reported concerns related to incorrect messaging when the maximum layer point price is exceeded in face and body menus. Also, concerns related to the highlight cursor potentially disappearing on the multi-row on-screen keyboards. Really? Concerns related to crowd signs appearing as generic or duplicated for certain superstars, and then just address various creative superstar part clipping and deformation concerns. I gotta say, man, car creators, I don't know how you guys do it, because this many different issues is just absolutely insane. I could have seen one or two things, 3 things. I just read off like maybe 10 different bullet points, if not more. What the hell were you guys working on before you released this game? We are sitting here, we have been playing an unfinished product. You might as well say we're still in early access. You might as well say this is an alpha build. What? And for some reason, create an arena is honestly, it might even be even worse than create a superstar. And before I jump into this, I do want to say shout out to Marty M. Marty M is probably one of, if not the best arena maker in the community. And Marty put out a tweet earlier this week saying that, you know, for some reason, they seem to be the only community that gets disrespected this much. Because if you look at it, you'll see that 2K hardly ever updates or does anything positively for the create an arena community. I think it might have been Marty as well who put out the tweet saying that, you know, a lot of the cooler arenas that people would make, the creative ones, like let's say a Waffle House parking lot, because I remember that was one on 25, they would use like a lot of different props and stuff around, you know, to create that effect. And evidently in patch 1.07, 2K has kind of nerfed it or just removed it completely so that they can't do it anymore. So it's like, come on. And again, man, create an arena has so many things that they patched. It's just like, dude, this mode was not ready. But we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it. Again, man, I might have to just summarize, or I might skip some things because it's so much. They address reported concerns related to LED aprons and ring posts being present when creating a custom arena after removing them and then taking the arena into gameplay. Now, they added an additional note. Note that all arenas made before this update will still be affected. Please edit or delete those arenas to completely address the situation. They addressed the reported concern related to copying arena props after a reverted change, concerns related to editing an announce table in certain templates with no announce table, concerns related to the inability to edit images placed on the announce table under certain circumstances. Dude, so like announce tables just must have been damn near impossible to use in create an arena. And as a matter of fact, since we're on the topic of things that are unusable, I think it was it might have been my previous video. ECW Corey left a comment discussing some of his complaints, and one of the things he mentioned was some entrance motions are delegated and locked behind heel or face. Now, creating entrance / creative victory also had some touches into this update, and just like this reoccurring theme, it had a lot. And I have to ask the question one more time of, what the hell was 2K doing? So the first thing, they addressed reported concerns related to pyro placement failing to adjust when editing motions or placing the pyro too early in the timeline. Concerns related to pyro effects playing at the wrong time. This is something that I saw a lot of people commenting when setting pyro blocks in the ramp and the ring intersections of the timeline. Reported concerns related to editing cast changes sometimes failing to apply in gameplay for 5-person team victory motions. I think this is something I've seen happen in the game for a couple of years now, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Reported concerns related to players potentially triggering a soft lock when entering creating entrance from universe mode under specific conditions. Address reported concerns related to stability when selecting a saved custom entrance using a deleted custom video from creative video, which, speaking of creative video, We will be coming back in we'll come back to that in just a moment. And I'm just gonna, again, we're gonna have to skim through stuff because it's just so much. The full patch notes will be linked in the description because it's just so much. What I specifically want to address reported concerns related to an issue with Degeneration X screen effects remaining on screen while adding motions to the timeline and creating entrance. So it's just so many different things that are just completely broken. And then guess what? It doesn't stop there. Do you know what else is messed up? Create a championship. What a surprise. The first thing they did, they addressed reported concerns related to previously saved customization on a side plate being removed when reverting out of a side plate selection. They've now added the ability to toggle visibility on the nameplates for relevant titles and create a championship. Once again, shout out to ECW Core. I think this was actually the very first thing that he listed as a complaint. They addressed reported concerns related to front plate relief designs missing editing options when applied to custom items. Really? Reported concerns related to tiled front plate and side plate images sometimes vanishing when attempting to modify a strap. Address reported concerns related to image placement sometimes being reverted while customizing logos. Concerns related to relief thumbnails not matching previews in the Creative Championship. Concerns related to color, etc. and pattern placement sometimes losing functionality after selecting the default pattern option for strap. And then last but not least, they address reported concerns related to misaligned side plates on certain championships. And then guess what? Do you know what else had issues? Create an image. And for creating an image, they just improved the stability and performance, and they also addressed concerns related to some menu inconsistencies for group images as well. Last but not least, we can go ahead and wrap up the creation suite because creative video, it also had a decent amount of issues, but they addressed reported concerns related to the preview and timeline bar sometimes falling out of sync. Concerns related to button prompts vanishing when selecting any category after saving many video clips in creative video. They addressed the reported concern related to doubled functionality sometimes appearing in the UI when a player adds a clip to a full timeline. Interesting. They addressed reported concerns related to an issue where select and back button prompts failed to display upon reaching maximum storage capacity. Concerns related to an issue with inconsistent button functionality while selecting an arena in creative video. I'm not gonna lie, that seems to be a common theme. Button functionality just not working as intended. They addressed reported concerns related to occasional screen flickering in the preview screen while editing cutscenes. And then last but not least, they addressed reported concerns related to non-functional info button prompts within a creative video. And now we can move on to presentation. The presentation, man, they did a lot for this. Now I gotta say again, disclaimer, I haven't played any elimination chamber matches yet, so this first one, I didn't really have an idea was a thing, but excuse me. They addressed reported concerns related to elimination chamber pods opening prematurely or not closing properly. Improved selection of cameras in broadcast mode, improved camera collision for steel cages, and improved entrance framing in gauntlet matches. They addressed reported concerns related to bad cameras in the creative move. They improved the vertical tracking on high falls and brawls. I'm actually intrigued by that. The Royal Rumble PIP no longer fades when the user interface fades. I'm assuming that's picture in picture. They addressed reported concerns related to highlight reel where invisible characters were selected as camera targets. They addressed reported concerns related to highlight reel with characters jiggling in replays. Oh my god. 2K26 got a jiggle physics. Oh my god. Then they addressed an issue with the online. They addressed reported concerns related to online stability issues. And then we finally get into the more, the actual game modes. MyFaction. MyFaction has a lot wrong with it. This is crazy. Pack vouchers should now be immediately accessible to use without having to restart MyFaction. They made several improvements to the display of requirements across the mode in the matches to help reduce confusion. They moved the update lineup notification to appear when attempting to start a match without meeting all of the requirements, instead of appearing when first entering the match details screen. Yeah, that was annoying. I gotta say, and that's coming from somebody who doesn't even really play the mode. So I can only imagine the people who actually put a lot of hours into it, just how annoying that was constantly. They addressed reported concerns related to a superstar getting stuck in an animation during a quick swap. Concerns related to run-ins that could cause players to be stuck in an animation. I didn't even know they had run-ins in MyFaction. That must have been a new addition they added this year, really? Like I've never seen it. They addressed reported concerns related to a run-in character attempting to complete a ladder match objective. Run-ins apparently just should not have been added to MyFaction. That's the main gist of what I'm seeing. They addressed reported concerns related reported concerns related to a run-in preventing a first blood match from being completed. What? You know what? Forget it. They addressed reported concerns related to a faction wars run not progressing or being completed after finishing a boss match. I've never played a MyFaction war. I never touched it at all last year, so I definitely don't know about it this year. They addressed reported concerns related to a crash that could occur when completing in a PvP match. Now that's really got to be frustrating, especially if it counts towards the win streak thing or your record. That's got to be frustrating. Addressed reported concerns related to a rare crash that could occur when loading into a MyFaction match. They addressed reported concerns related to the loser superstar card being displayed as the winner at the end of a ranked match. That's gotta, that's not the biggest of issue, but that's something that obviously should have been fixed. I feel like that would have kind of been funny to see more than anything. They addressed reported concerns related to vouchers not functioning correctly in certain regions. Interesting. They addressed reported concerns related to an infinite loading screen. Appearing after leaving a card trial. Reported concerns related to the weapon master badge incorrectly activating when brawling on top of a ladder. And then last but not least, they addressed reported concerns related to being unable to complete a finisher or signature match objective in I Quit matches. Then up next we have MyRise. MyRise, they tuned the rate at which players gained match stars in MyRise to make it faster to earn stars in Rise matches. Then once again, shout out to ECW Corey, because one of the things he also complained about was that you couldn't unlock Baron Blade as a wrestler or even a manager. Well, 2K has responded. You can now unlock Baron Blade not as a wrestler, but as a manager, which in the grand scheme of things, something is better than nothing. Would have preferred him to be used as both, but hey, a win is a win. And then up next we have MyGM, which also has a ton of things they've done. So the first thing they did was they addressed a reported concern related to Stacy Keibler's power card that kept firing superstars every week after the card was used. Okay, now that ain't funny. That ain't funny. They addressed reported concerns related to games not saving after the draft if players exited before arriving at the booking screen. Reported concerns related to only receiving 19 seasonal challenges instead of 20. Made roster updates. They added reset to default option when selecting custom belts during championship selection. Hold on, wait, we can use custom titles in MyGM? Really? New GM music added to trade, keeper, mid-season push, slammy, and end-of-season screens. Alternate attires now work for superstars in MyGM. Increased difficulty for the immortal AI. They updated the AI trade evaluations. They now value their superstars and power cards higher to prevent stealing. Then we got some brand new power card updates. SmackDown will now receive 3 copies of their power card per season. Stacy Keibler's number of power cards has been reduced from 3 to 2 per season. Xavier Woods' number of power cards has increased from 2 to 3. The anonymous GM number of power cards have also gone up from 2 to 3. Now they've also done power card tuning. Network special boost value reduced from 20% to 10%. Special promotions reduced from 0.0025 to 0.002. Punk. The CM Punk power card has been reduced from 0.03% to 0.02%. Some more tuning they've done. They've adjusted morale gain and lost values. New emails have been added. They've adjusted the amount of fans you can gain and lose from invasion promos, and they've added new superstar sort options to various screens. And then up next, another mode that I've made a video dedicated to, Universe Mode. Universe Mode has so many additions, tweaks and changes that, again, man, look, this video is going on for long enough. I'm just gonna have to read a couple of them because there's just so many. So the first thing, of course, they improve universe overall stability. They address reported concerns related to match cards being reset when players left the mode. They address reported concerns related to the Royal Rumble PLE generating a 10-person Rumble match. I haven't played a Rumble in universe mode, so I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, like, they had to be so frustrating, because especially if you use the Rumble like I do it, that's one of my biggest events in universe mode. I mean, obviously, like it is in real life. So for them to just, screw you over and set it to a 10-person Rumble, that's got to be annoying. They address reported concerns that would cause the superstar setting of face/heel to not save properly. Really? They address reported concerns that would cause Watch Show to lose crowd audio. They address reported concerns related to custom superstars having 0 HP. Concerns causing managers and named referees to not be allowed to be special referee. Concerns related to Titantron movies reverting when viewing entrances. Concerns causing empty match cards to appear. That's something I think I might have seen people complain about, but I haven't actually witnessed it. Concerns related to superstar positioning issues with post-match interviews. Like, it's just so much. I'm just kind of skimming through now. The whole entire mode, they pretty much did a lot. Now, it's because they cover so much, I think this is something I'm going to specifically dedicate a video to. But something I do want to highlight is they've added wear and tear. Wear and tear option allows superstars to remain damaged when appearing multiple times on the same show. They've also added rivalry breaks, the option to control whether rivalry matches or number one contender versus champion matches are prioritized at PLEs. And then, of course, they added the Watch Show referee counts, options to control whether the HUD for referee countouts and pins is shown in watch mode. And then they've also made a few changes to the draft. For example, they've improved draft consistency and overall stability. I'm assuming what this means is, when the game first came out and I hopped into universe mode to test it out, SmackDown Nick Aldis with the second overall pick, he chose Nikki Cross. Keep in mind that there were people like Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins. All of these people were on the board. I think Cody was on the board, and he chose Nikki Cross. So I'm assuming it means something like that. And then, of course, the final thing we're going to hit, they've tweaked cutscenes. They address reported concerns related to creating entrance, address reported concerns related to superstar in a victory being deformed or invisible, address reported concerns related to editing timeline in creating entrance that will cause a crash, address reported concerns related to clipping in various creating entrance motions, and then they address reported concerns related to minor clipping issues in Viking Go's entrance. I don't know why they specifically had its own section under cutscenes, because this is just stuff that could have been added into creating entrance. But, maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm crazy, but that was a lot of stuff to cover. And even then, it was so much that we had to cut stuff. I'm going to just make an entire video dedicated to the changes they made in universe mode and how different the mode is now compared to the initial video I made about it. But if this is your first time stopping by the channel, go ahead and stretch your leg out. Go ahead and give that like button a super kick, just like you are Prime 97 HBK himself. And then, you know what I want you to do as well? I want you to be like CM Punk, like he did Roman Reigns this past Monday. I want you to pick up that subscribe button, and I want you to power bomb it, slam it straight through the announce table. But either way, man, your boy signing out. Take it easy.